Go.
I just had a question concerning the role of public education. Our current administration and Secretary DeVos are undermining public education. I'm an 8th grade social studies teacher.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to hear your policy to kind of fully or help fund us so we're not having budget cuts in school, have paper go around, et cetera, in our current plan.
Thanks for asking, and thanks for your public service. For those who didn't hear the question, it's about public education. Gentleman introduced himself as an 8th grade social studies teacher. Talked about just having the resources to make sure that kids can learn in the classroom. And I don't know what it's like in New Hampshire. In Texas, the teacher on average, the educator on average, spends between $800 to $1,000 out of his or her own pocket for decorations, for school supplies for the kid who forgot to bring them or just doesn't have the money to purchase them. Yeah. But also we are learning for that child who's on free and reduced breakfast and lunch, a warm meal that she cannot expect at home, that teacher out of his own pocket is purchasing that. The kid who shows up in the same pair of jeans and t-shirt Monday through Thursday, we're hearing stories from teachers who buy that kid a new set of clothes, understanding that his ability to learn is tied to his sense of self-worth, his dignity, and they're going to make sure that they connect him with that dignity so that he can learn. How do we meet the challenge that those teachers now in this country are on average in Texas working 2 or 3 jobs, have student loan debts, $30, $40, $50, $60,000. They borrowed for the privilege of educating our kids and sacrificing in this role of public service. Here's some investments that we can make. Under my administration, we will fully fund the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. For those special education teachers, just as an example, that means the resources that they need in the classroom, the additional instructors to make sure that they're delivering world-class education, and it frees local school districts to make additional investment in educator pay so that you don't have to work that 2nd or 3rd job, or so that you don't leave the profession altogether. We're also going to set up a permanent education fund of $500 billion, which will in part be invested in making sure that we address the disparity in white majority and minority majority school districts, which are underfunded to the tune of $23 billion a year. Some people have said, and who am I to argue this, that segregation de facto in this country in public education is worse today than it was in 1954, the year of Brown versus Board of Education. But we've got to go beyond equality in funding to actual equity in education. That means that we try to find, hire, and retain teachers who look like the students in front of them. We know that we have a disparity in discipline where a child who's 5 years old in a kindergarten classroom is 5 times as likely to be suspended or expelled if she or he is a child of color. That's setting up people to fail when they're at their most vulnerable moments in their lives. So making these investments, changing these policies, moving the first day of public education universally from kindergarten to pre-K, and then funding higher education going forward. And then lastly, for you and others who commit to public service, we will completely wipe clean any student loan debt so you can focus on those kids in front of you in the classroom. So, thanks for asking the question.